to move to like more business related question. Firstly is the domestic audience, our performance products. I think everybody much about the price movement and based on our observation, we actually see month-on-month increase in the European spot price in June. So I want to ask if you have seen any other positive trend in the second half year for your contract price, and also what is your how do you expect the price level in the next coming half year and also in the next few years? That will be my first question. And also to follow up on this, I also would like to know your view on the pressure from the your Chinese counterparties, like NHU, its capacity expansion. How do you see the pressure from this? And also, have you seen any other capacity suspension in this industry? Thank you.
So for Derek, I think that this is your role to answer questions.
Yes. Alors, I think first of all, the most important message is that the performance product do have cycles. So it's inherent to those markets, whether it's like methionine or whether it's vitamins, to have ups and downs. IPO has been dealing with those ups and downs since decades. So we know how to manage those market cycles. On the methionine side, clearly we have seen a huge price decrease since basically mid last year in the magnitude of 25-27% in terms of price decrease versus the peak of last year. And we have seen lately, late May, early June, a kind of stabilization. And indeed, prices in Europe are rebounding a little bit, but we are talking about 10 to 15 cents. So this is obviously going into the right direction, but this is still not compensating the huge decrease that we've seen in the past 6 months. Talking about the forecast, this is obviously very difficult to give any forecast. Right now, what we can say is that, unfortunately, we don't see a significant improvement in terms of demand. So the demand has been weak in S1, and we don't anticipate a big change in terms of demand on S2, although we may see slightly better market conditions by the end of the year, but right now we don't see it. The big change is on the cost side. So you see that the variable cost on the distribution cost went down, and now this is impacting the P&L. So the margin, to say, is improving, but mostly driven by the cost decrease than by the demand, which is not going upward. So you still have 2 scenarios. If the demand is picking up a little bit, obviously it will have an upward trend on the prices, and that's maybe the beginning of that we see today. But if for whatever reason the demand would not rebound, knowing that indeed some additional capacity is coming on the market by year end, you may have another scenario. So right now it's very unpredictable. And my main comment is that the lack of visibility and predictability on the methionine, it's exactly the same on vitamin, although the demand is even lower. But basically, IPO being a cost competitive leader in methionine and having done a lot of cost reduction programs lately, we do believe that we will have the possibility to deal with that difficult market. I'm usually not commenting what the competition is doing, but we are ready for, I would say, what the competition is doing on the new capacity coming up on the Chinese market by year end.
Okay, thank you, Brett. Christina, does this answer your question, I suppose, right?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a very, very good answer. Thank you for the answer. And I also have a question for the capacity operating. Can you give us more info on how is actually the capacity utilization in your firm? I mean, especially in Europe and also in the new Nanjing plant. Thank you.
Sure. So today in Nanjing we are running full speed. So we have very good capacity utilization. And we do believe that Nanjing for liquid methionine is the best plant right now in the world. In Europe, as you know, we have shut down some capacity in France. So we have one idle capacity in Commentry, which is our French plant for powder methionine. It has been idle now for about 8 months. right now we don't see market conditions to restart. So the only capacity which is idle for the time being is in France, in Coventry. The rest is running as it should run in Europe and in China for speed.
Okay, good. And I also have one question. Like you have mentioned about the demand is still weak, as we are all located in China. So we actually can see that the weakness in the protein side is just as what you said. It's very weak, but we are curious about. Can you give us some additional color on why you see the demand for your products all over the world is also very is weak, and when you expect it will like recover. And I think this will actually relate to the future development trend of the whole Macedonian market. Like, will it still be a stable market, or it will fluctuate more? Thank you.
Here we have to think about two terms. Short term, what we see is that clearly the customer of our customers, the farmers, they are being squeezed because of inflation between the low price of meat, because people are struggling to buy meat, on high cost of grains, although it's going down. So there is a kind of margin squeeze for the customers of our customers. And this is obviously impacting the demand short term. And when on top of that, you put the fact that you still have in the world avian flu and swine fever, plus the war in Ukraine, this is obviously an extraordinary combination of things which are impacting short term the demand. And to be honest with you, it's difficult to tell you when it's going to improve. We have the feeling that we have hit the bottom in terms of difficulty, but the improvement for the time being is still quite fragile. On the long run, nothing has changed for methionine. This is still a very good market. Basically, the drivers for the demand are the same. This is the growth of the worldwide population. This is the growth of the consumption of meat, and also the conversion from powder methionine to liquid methionine. And because of that, or thanks to that, we do expect that the growth year on year will be in the neighborhood of 4%. It's a bit less than what it was before, but still it's a very steady and significant growth. So we are still very much believing in the future of methionine, and hoping that the demand will improve anytime soon. But again, as we are cost competitive, we are not, I would say, too much worried about this little slowdown in terms of demand right now.
Yeah, understood. Well, I'm happy that in the longer term, the demand is still very stable. So I think maybe we can move to the more exciting, at least for me, the more exciting part, the specialty products. So, how is the company's specialty like business performing currently? And yeah, I just wanted to know about the revenue growth and also about the margin. Yeah, thank you.
Jigal, do you want me to continue on that too?
Yes, sure, please.
Yeah. So on the specialty side, basically, again, we have difficult market conditions, and I think we should acknowledge the fact that it has been difficult for everybody. But we see contrasted picture depending on the species. We have had good growth on the ruminants, and you know that we have, I would say, the best product on the market on the protected methionine, and we have seen double-digit growth on the ruminant specialty business. And I must say it has been mostly outside of China, because the dairy market in China has been very, very difficult the first part of the year. We see now a slight improvement, but in the rest of the world, and particularly in North America, Latin America, and to some extent in Europe, we have had double-digit growth on the specialties for ruminants. We are struggling much more on the swine market, which has been difficult, except on what we call health by nutrition, where we launched a new product some time ago, which is an organic selenium that we call Seliceo, which has had also double-digit growth. And the last thing is that we have been quite active in launching new products. This semester, the past one, we have launched 3 products, and we see some sales already. And you know that we are pushing a lot on the enzymes market. On the more, I would say, the cost of grains is expensive, on the necessity to be productive for the farmers is there, the more we sell enzymes. And we have launched 2 new enzymes which are finding some success on the market. So right now we see a double-digit growth on specialties. This is difficult in terms of demand, but we have been able to compensate the difficult demand by new products on special programs in North America. So so far so good.
Thanks, Fred. For Christina, do you have some other questions related with the specialties or other business? Okay.
Hi. Yeah. I think my colleague Roy has some other questions. Roy, are you there?
Sure. Hi, thank you. Thank you for your answer. This is actually very comprehensive. But I just had one quick add-on, because we know that actually since from the beginning of this year, the Chongqing factory of the pecan is actually ramping up very quickly. So just out of curiosity, what is actually the current status, and also do we actually have a more near-term production schedule that you can share with our investor and analysts? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer your question. Actually, the Chongqing project we call the chili project. The project has already finished the construction by end of last year, and since beginning of this year, we started the trial production. As you all know, so the fermentation is not easy to manage, especially on this is the innovative process, and this is the first production in the world on the process. So far, I think that they have already delivered very good results. So currently the protein content has already delivered the target 68%. So the difficulties is they are fighting with the process to improve the capacity. So our target is to deliver all the KPIs for the project by end of the year. So this is the current the progress. So the team in Calisio, they have the strong confidence to deliver the target as I described. So I think that this is the current progress I can share with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hao Zong. Yeah, thank you. So if you don't mind, I would just add on. Actually, we are actually seeing the first phase of the projection of the expansion. So given our current situation, because we definitely know there's actually at least you have a further future capacity expansion plan for this Chongqing factory. So I just wonder if the schedule right now we're still on track, or actually we are now expecting to some level of delay, or even in the optimistic case, we are actually seeing to remain the expansion skill and also to deliver it on schedule or not.
Yeah, so we know the 20 kg, the fish meal project is not so competitive. It's not enough to serve for the market. So we are studying several options to make some expansion plan. So no doubt, after we make successful on the project, we will make our decision to expand the capacity. So we are on the direction. So right now we don't have any further information to share with all the investors, but I can say we are doing on the direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I will stop here to see if there are any questions from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we also have some Chinese analysis. If you have some questions, please send messages to Fini in Chinese so that we can get it translated and answer your questions if needed. So I know there's Jeffrey represented is also online. So Sabrina, would you like to raise some questions?
Hey, it's Chris Cudahan here, actually, from Jefferies. If I can step in on behalf of Sabrina. Thank you. You've seen, I want to focus on Adissio, but you've obviously seen your European player call out significant decline in vitamin prices as a reason to change their business strategy and to focus on cost and cash as well. And at the same time, they've removed vitamin A capacity out of the market with extended shutdowns. Do you think this is having any impact on vitamin markets at all from a supply-demand perspective, with the hope that you might see some improvement or tightening in those markets?
Maybe I can try to answer that question. To be honest, for the time being, we have not seen major impact of those extensive shutdowns on the price of vitamin. So this is clearly not, I would say, very much impacting. I do believe that at the end of the day, the main driver is on the demand side. We do expect by the end of the year that demand may improve a little bit, and that will be what will move or not the market. So the turnarounds, extended period, the shutdowns have had limited impact so far on vitamin A. That's what we see in the market, and we don't see any change if the demand is not improving by year end.
Makes sense. And then in terms of the demand drivers, obviously it's meat prices, which will hopefully drive that. But is it still destocking, do you think, coming at the end markets in agriculture, or is it just purely demand? Do you break down between destocking and underlying demand?
It's difficult to get that because they were destocking at the beginning of the year. There's no doubt about that. Today, we believe that it's mostly back to normal in terms of supply and demand. But giving you a precise split in between destocking and demand on supply is very risky, I would say.
Yeah. So if we're thinking about animal nutrition volumes in 2023, you talked about the different mixes between specialty and performance products. But your expectations for overall volumes in the market for 2023, therefore?
I've lost you. Are you still with me?
I apologize.
Okay.
Can you still? So just industry players I've spoken to are expecting underlying animal nutrition volumes down probably low to mid-single digits in the market. Do you think that's a right number?
Yeah, that's what we've seen last year, and we have also a negative prognosis for S1. We have a prognosis which is back to positive, very low positive in S2. But I would say for us, the main driver is more on the conversion, because we have been gaining some volumes versus competition by converting powder customers into liquid customers, and this has been the main driver for us in S1 on the methionine business by far.
Makes sense. I'll return back to the queue and I'll raise my hand with other questions.
Okay, thank you, Chris. 在线的就是如果有其他想用中文提问的话，也可以跟我提，然后我们可以给你翻译一下。有人需要提问题吗？
可以听到吗？
可以，你说。
我想问一下，就是公司领导这边，因为今年以来，从去年下半年到现在，整个单酸价格跌的比较多嘛，现在也在历史上一个偏低的位置了。当然，我们可以看到原材料的变化，能不能介绍一下，就是现在整个公司单酸在不同的一个市场，比如说欧洲的生产基地和国内的生产基地，包括国内的1期、2期这边的成本和盈利情况大概在什么样一个位置？第二个呢，今年还有一些新的单酸的产能会投放出来，请问怎么去展望未来单酸市场的一个价格和竞争格局？这么两方面问题，谢谢。
Okay. Okay. So I think this is the question related with my signing. So Greg, maybe you can answer. The first question is he's asking about the profit level of different plants of Adissio. considering the impact from raw material and energy cost reduction, as well as the back 360. He would like to know what is the perfect level of the Chinese block versus the European block. The second question is about, I think you have answered it, but maybe you can emphasize again. Is thinking about the expansion of energy in the second half of 2023. What do you think will be the future, the dynamic for concerning pricing and the competitive landscape?
So I will not give you precise data on the profitability per plant of methionine for ADCO because we don't disclose profitability per plant. But clearly, in terms of profitability today, the best plant that we have is in China, in Nanjing. We have had a very successful startup of the capacity extension in Nanjing. And right now, we are operating at capacity. So that's obviously very well in terms of ramp up in terms of utilization. In Europe, we have been, I would say, more impacted by the high costs, especially of energy. And you know that there were a big difference between gas, electricity, all utilities costs between Europe and China. And China was much cheaper. So we took a decision, which was to shut down the least profitable unit, which is the one in Commentry. For the rest, I would say we still have, decent profitability, and we have improved throughout the semester with cost actions, which have upgraded the profitability. So that gives you basically the ranking without getting into the details of profitability per plant. On the competition, I'm not used to disclose or to give you details on competition. The only thing which can say, and which is a public information, is that the startup of the new NHU powder methionine unit is delayed. So we don't expect, I would say, major impact before the end of the year. After that, the market is growing. You have players who are less competitive than us and less competitive than NHU. So if the market is working, the most competitive will win and the least competitive will lose. That's classic market dynamics. So we do believe that the methionine market is still a very interesting market if you have good market positions and good competitiveness, which is our case.
Thank you, Frederick. 那个刚才提问的需要我给你做一些翻译吗？还是说我可以？
好的。
好，就是
好，帮我翻译一下吧，谢谢。
总结一下。总结一下吧，就是因为这个保密关系原因，我们因为不去分工厂去讨论，研究我们的那个利润率，但是就是很明确的，就是的确中国工厂目前为止是竞争力最优秀的，因为我们2期去年第4季度成功的这个投产之后，运行也非常稳定，所以这一定是这个目前为止这个世界上竞争力最高的一个工厂。但其实我们的欧洲工厂就是因为考虑到我们有全球的一个产业布局的原因，所以其实我们为了提高整个的这个集团的这个利润率的水平，我们决定了关闭了这个竞争力可能最差的一个工厂，就是法国的Commentry的这个工厂。同时我们在欧洲工厂也做了一系列的成本改进的一个计划，所以我们其实目前为止欧洲的整个工厂的运营的这个利润率水平也是比较合理的。所以我们相信我们这个单酸整个的这个成本的利润率现在已经是属于一个非常比较健康和优质的一个状况。那从这个新合成下半年投产情况，因为我们也不会去评说竞争对手的一个情况，我们只能是从公开信息了解到，就新合成其实它的这个工厂的第2期的那个投产其实已经延迟了。所以我们预计就是在今年下半年，其实对整个供给的需求的影响不会太大，因为它也是需要一定的时间去把它爬坡的。然后到明年而言呢，我们认为这个需求也会慢慢涨起来。所以对于这个单酸市场来讲，如果你有非常好的技术，一定是在这个市场是一个赢家。对于那些这个竞争能力比较差的，它一定会在它市场份额会缺失。所以总体来讲这个竞争的格局和优势对于安利富来讲，我们认为没有什么太大的。
明白。泰总，我这边能再追问一下吗？就是公司现在整个产品的复合在什么地方？复合可以讲一下吗
Okay, so the follow-up question is that he would like to know what is the capacity utilization rate globally by the plants.
The only plant which is not running is the powder methionine plant in France. which has a capacity of 40,000 tons of methionine. Everything else is working, running.
对，就是我们所有的工厂都在这个正常的运行，只有一个工厂，就是刚刚讲的康曼特里的那工厂，它这个是4万吨固体产能的那个工厂没有运行，其他都是比较正常的在开着。
哦，理解，蔡总。我们在什么样的条件下才会重启我们之前关停的那个工厂？在一些成本、价格上面有设置这样的条件吗？
Okay, so he is asking about when will we consider to restart our Coventry plant? When the price, do we have kind of a price signal to say, okay, at what kind of price level we are thinking restart?
But it's not only about price, it's also about cost. So right now we don't see basically the market conditions to be favorable for a restart, and we see that every quarter. So right now we don't see it. And again, the price is one element, but the cost is another one. So it's difficult to tell. But right now we don't see it.
就是我们是按季度来这个审阅我们是否要重启。目前来讲，不管价格还是成本构成来讲，我们都没有见到可以去把这个工厂重新开起来的是可能性。我们会按季度去更新我们这个预测情况来调整我们的决定。
哦，明白。好的，我这边没有问题了，谢谢陈总。
So I saw there's a hand raised by Morgan Stanley, right? Just now, who is the raising hand to ask? Yeah.
Thank you, Cai Zong, and good morning and good afternoon, Hao Zong, Virginia, and Frederick, and other NEC colleagues. This is Hao Chi from Morgan Stanley. And given that the questions and the responses just now are quite comprehensive and clear, I just have one more question about the financial performance, and how do you think about the revenue trend in the future? Will it be stable or fluctuated, given the market is not very good now? And is there any room for cost optimization while taking both revenue and cost trend into consideration? How will gross profit and net profit be expected in the future? Thank you.
Virginia, can I answer the question? Okay,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely. So, as mentioned, we expect a trend similar to what has been experienced in the first half of 2023, i.e. very solid volume growth on liquid methionine, very sustainable growth on specialties, but however still downward pricing pressure both on methionine and vitamins, which overall is expected to translate into stabilized revenues compared notably to the past quarters. So this is regarding the revenue trend, and this is again in a context of very still sluggish demand. Regarding cost, we are, and this has been mentioned by Frederick already, we are expecting further improvement on the cost side, be it on variable and distribution cost, as we only start to see the decrease in raw material and energy costs in our accounts, and this is expected to further improve, and this is mainly due to the inventory impact. So we are expecting further improvement, and on top of that, you know that we have been initiating several cost-cutting plans, which for some of them are still to provide further benefits in the coming quarters. We have our usual Eagle program, which is providing continuous and additional recurring benefits. But on top of that, we have initiated a cost-cutting plan on our fixed cost, and representing about 200 million CNY per year. And as this has been initiated in the course of 2023, given the challenges we were overcoming, this is expected to generate further benefits in the coming quarters.
Very clear. Thank you, Virginia.
Okay, so do we have some other questions from other participants online? 说中文的 那个朋友们还有什么问题不？看线上应该还有蛮多说中文的，比较难得的一个机会，可以跟那个 OK。Who is please please raise your question. I saw a hand. 你 unmute， 你把你的那个静音解除，你来提问题吧。我看到有人举手。是我看错了吗 ？Chris, okay, please.
Yeah, thank you. I just had one follow-up question. If you could comment on just anywhere around the world on any pressure from animal disease and where you would see that maybe relative to history, and is that impacting demand?
Maybe I can comment. Yeah, it is impacting demand. No doubt, it has been impacting S1 demand. It's unlikely that you get those two diseases at the same time, and this is what happens today. So we have had big impact on the swine market, no doubt, and this has been the most impacted market. And we see that the swine demand has been decreasing in Europe, decreasing in I think in Latin America too. So this has been impacting. On the poultry market, I think it seems to be a bit better, but there is one area of concern, which is Brazil, because for the very first time, Brazil has been impacted by one case of bird flu in Brazil, and this is obviously something which is new. That was not the case in the past. So we are very much monitoring the situation, because Brazil has a huge impact on the export business of chickens. But we've seen some improvement on the avian flu at the end of the semester, but clearly it has been impacting the demand on top of difficult market conditions in the first part of the year.
Amazing. Thank you, Frederick.
Okay, thank you, Chris and Frederick. Some other questions from the participants? Okay. Morgan Stanley, yes, thank you. Royal, please unmute. You're unmute.
Oh, hi. Yeah, thank you, Cai Zong. I guess I just still have one follow-on question for Hao Zong, because we just recently talked about our expansion on Chongqing factory and feed line products. So I'm just wondering, right now, given the situation is actually ramping up very quickly, so do we actually right now already engage with some potential customers for our pipeline, and also do we actually see what exactly is their demand and purchase intention, and to further on is actually, do we actually have penciled down pricing mechanism or strategy with the new customers, and looking forward to the second half of this year, are we still expecting for any other new products to actually come online other than the feed line and the special product we mentioned in our profit outline? I guess that's part of the one question, but just get further details. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. Clearly, regarding about BitKing project, as I mentioned, we are on the trial production. Our target is to further improve the capacity. So in the meantime, we also had some very good communication or discussion with our potential buyers. So I can tell you, we had the communications with the key, the Aqua, the business partner, include Tongwei, Haida, and others, who use our BitKing products to test for their applications. So all their feedback or positive. So that means the products can be used for the Aqua application. So this is very positive for the products. I think that this is no problem at all to use such products for the Aqua business. So right now is focus our insight. We want to approve the process as planned and to make our expansion plan. This is very clear. And I can tell you, you asked me the question whether there have some new products. I can tell you there have some new application. So new products we are on the progress because this plant is a joint venture made by IDCU with Calista. Calista is based in US, so they are the technology provider on the process. So we are using our products to test for the pet application. As you can understand, the pet food is a very good margin, so it's much higher than that used in aqua business. So we are doing the process. So basically, in principle, it could be accepted to be used for the pet application. So in one word, so we had very good feedback from the partners on the products application. We are developing some new applications, include the pet and others. So all the progress is ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you, Hao. Actually, I think
Yeah.
Roy is asking about some new products in specialties. Maybe I think Frederick, you can add some elements here.
Frederick, I think that you mentioned a few words. Could you explain more about what are those new products from specialty? Okay.
Yeah, I think on this year, basically we have launched 2 new enzymes. Again, because enzymes are becoming, how can I say that, essential specialties. It's more and more important to put enzymes into the diet of animals. And we have also launched one product which is reducing methane emission, which is called Dynamic. For next year, we are working on a very ambitious program also to launch new products. First of all, we will introduce the products of the acquisition we've made in Europe, which is called Norfeed. And Norfeed is a very interesting case because Norfeed is a French startup, I could say, small company, which has developed a unique range of phytogenics. And phytogenics are natural-based plant extracts, which are being used mostly as alternative to antibiotics or to improve the health of animals. So we are now looking at combining Norfeed range of products with IPO range of products and introducing some new products in China. So this will be introduced on the market early next year. And we are also working in launching new products for the protected methionine business for the ruminants market, which will be launched early next year. And we continue on the enzyme. So those are the 3, I would say, main directions in terms of new product launch for early next year, on top of what has been done this year.
Okay. Thank you, Hao, and thank you, Frederick, for your answer. Just one more quick follow on, actually, because from the market, we actually see the spot price of the fish meal has been climbing very quickly in the first half. So I just wonder for Dr. Hao, in your point of view, do you actually see why actually right now is gaining a more strong bargaining power on our new feed kind products in the market? And do we actually negotiating with our potential clients about this kind of price uptrend to affecting our final contract price? Thank you.
Yes, so I noticed that the fish meal price is going up quickly. And we know all the reason that this is a shortage of the supply from the South America. To be honest, this is a very good time to make the negotiation with some clients for the feed count. So yes, we are doing the way. Right now we want our customer to accept the products and then to make the order. This is our current focus. As you know, the price of the feed count is strongly linked with the fish meal. Absolutely, the price will be improved in the future. So I think that this is a very positive message for us. So I cannot tell you more about the price information because right now we still ask our customer to test our examples. As you understand, for the ARC business, it's not short term to test the products. They need a little longer term to test products and then to make the much order afterwards. So I just want to let you know, so we are on the good track. So if the price of the fish meal continue to have the current trend, so the business will make much money on that.
Okay, perfectly understand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions online?
Roy from Goldman is raising hand.
Rory just finished.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just forgot to raise my hand. Sorry.
Okay. 那个线上说中文的那个朋友有需要提问题的吗 ？Okay, so please unmute yourself and raise questions. 郑总，你把你静音取消，对，
好嘞，好，谢谢蔡总。我看各位领导下午好。我想问一下，我们那个福建泉州那边呢，我看到咱们公众号也已经启动这个招聘了。想问一下，我们这个基地30万吨的话，需要的资金量比较大嘛，70个亿。我们什么时候会启动这个融资？大概？
Okay. So actually, the question from the investor is say that they noted that we have a recruitment advertisement related with our Chongqing project. So he know that the financing for such a big project.
Not Chongqing, Quanzhou.
Sorry, Quanzhou project. He noted recruitment advisory related with our Quanzhou project, and he also know that we need a lot of money to finance project. So he is asking when will we consider to start the financing for this project. So maybe we
I will answer the question. 那个郑总好，是非常感谢你对公司的关注啊。其实我们在泉州呢是这样，就是因为我们中国文化在泉州一个非常好的这个石化一体化的这个平台基地。这个我们也一直在和这个兄弟单位啊在找一些合作项目啊，所以这个我们一直在和这个泉州石化和这个泉州市政府在探讨，就是我们在那里是否可以这个新增一些产能啊，这个工作正在开展之中，我们现在还没有这个进一步向市场发布的这个信息。这个参照我们南京项目的产能来看的话，你可以了解到，就是我们南京工厂这个18万吨液体单酸大概这个产能的一些投资情况，应该来说同等规模的应该是投资相差不会太大，只能有这么个信息吧。因为对安利所来说的话，我们这个有很好的这个资金基础吧，投资应该如果未来这个形成投资计划的话，也应该是可以解决投资的问题。现在没有任何向市场公布的信息，谢谢。
好，谢谢，好的。
I think Dr. has mentioned about actually in Quanzhou there's the integrated chemical plant that is organized. So we are discussing with them to find the synergies with. At current stage, we're not yet ready to announce concrete information to the market. So yeah, that's the main summary of the house answer to this question.
Yeah, and maybe just regarding financing.
Okay, so any other questions?
So 蔡总。
I think it's almost yeah. So if there's no further questions, I think we will happily end the investor call for today. Thanks for your time and effort. Thanks for interest with IDSU. Hope that we can see you in person sometime in the near future. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hao. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, Virginie. Thank you, Penny. I think Virginie 老师，谢谢大家，我们那个今天的会议到那个就到此为止吧。谢谢，拜拜。
谢谢。